Is this really the entire list of new characters that we're going to see for this year's Dragon Ball Heroes collaboration banner, or are they still hiding something from us? Something that could potentially be the first LR on the Dragon Ball Heroes category. There is quite a bit to talk about in today's video, a few things I need to get across to you. So before I actually hop into that, I just, a really quick subscriber challenge. If, of course, you're currently drinking something right now at this very moment, you got caught being thirsty, you got caught lacking, you got to subscribe to the channel. It is what it is. If you weren't drinking anything, I guess you can, skip today's subscriber challenge. And if you were drinking, I'm sorry, I've been thirsty before, so I know what that's like, and no, not like that. But anyways, let's hop into this. So here again is the current list of what we know is dropping for the Heroes banner. I just want to say this right now. I know the intro made me sound a little greedy, like there should be something else. I don't feel like that. Just to clarify the air, or to clear the air, right? I am perfectly content with what I see right here, and I would urge everyone to not expect more than this. Dokkan is just a game made to have fun. The more you expect, the more disappointed you're going to be. So just take this as what it is for now. But I think there is validity to validity to argue the fact that there could be something missing here, okay? Now, if they are leaving something out, that one character I would argue could potentially be an LR, simply because why else would they, hold something against us, right? But last year, they dropped a total of 5 new characters on one of the new Dragon Ball Heroes banner. Only 5 new characters, which is, again, I say only, but it's in comparison to previous years. 5 new characters, definitely a lot of new characters, right? But the year before that, they dropped 6, and the year before that, they dropped 6 again. What about the year before that? That was 6 again. So actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They dropped 7 new characters. They went from 7, 6, 6 to 5. If they wanted to drop 6, they easily. It's actually more likely that they drop more characters than not. So based off that alone, you can definitely argue the possibility of them releasing something else. It's just that Dokkan likes to enter these patterns, and Dokkan definitely breaks them every now and then, right? But if last year was 5 characters, I do expect maybe this year could also be 5 characters. You can also argue the hype per banner, right? Because last year, if you showed me this banner, I would have expected that there was going to be an LR on this banner more so than on this banner, because this list or roster of characters was just not hype. I know God Trunks is really cool, but unless you're like I feel like many people, compared to those who don't, I feel like many don't actually consume heroes like that. I know many do. I'm not saying it's not watched or anything like that. I'm just saying that I feel like a majority of the Dokkan player, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I don't think a majority of the Dokkan player base really cares a lot for heroes itself. So when you have a banner like this, God Trunks is the only thing people really care about. So if you showed me this banner, I'm like, okay, what else are they dropping to make people summon? But they didn't drop anything else. But on this banner, there's easily more hype here. Easily. Just Goku and Vegeta by themselves, carry, are infinitely more hype than this banner right here. So based off of just hype and wanting to summon, like, they don't need to release anything else, and people are still going to dump tons of stones into this banner, compared to last year where they didn't have anything crazy hype, at least in my opinion. Again, I know God Trunks is cool, but like, I didn't know Xenopan existed, or this man existed, or even I don't know any of these characters actually existed besides, again, just God Trunks, right? So if they wanted to carry a banner, or at least make it more hype to summon, they didn't do that last year, so I wouldn't really expect them to do that this year. So just go ahead and keep that in mind. But I also want to mention that someone in the community known as Maverick, you've probably seen his name a few times in videos and whatnot, but Maverick here, he knows some things. Let's put it like this: he has been correct in the past. He knows, he let's just say, he has a little bit of foresight. Now, I wouldn't say foresight. I'm hyping it up. I wouldn't call him a data miner per se, but all I know is that he knows a few things, and he's been again. These tweets could be for the purpose of just misleading, right? But he did mention, he said, I wish with all my might that things don't seem as they seem to be coming. I'm a bit upset. He's talking in reference to the fact that he's been praying for, at least in my opinion, he's been praying for a Grand Priest UI Goku, and that he thinks that people are going to be upset that this is the entire lineup for the Hero Celebration, which again, I don't really understand because we received 5 characters last year. So being upset would just not make much sense because we're receiving exactly what we got last year. And not only that, this banner is infinitely more hype. Every character, Dark Janemba, I would argue, is more hype than like these 4 characters, at least right here for me, unless again you just really love heroes and you know it is what it is, right? So just keep that in mind. But the question then becomes, okay, so if they are going to release an LR, who could it potentially be? And I see so many people talking about, you know, the possibility of maybe this looks like Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Let me know if it is. Again, I don't watch Heroes, but the aura kind of gives me that feeling. Or Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. And while I could see the argument for that, I'm telling you right now that at least to me, and for what Dokkan has done in the past, it just wouldn't really make much sense. Why would you drop a Goku and then a Vegeta and then a fusion of that character on the same banner? It's like you could have just waited for that. Like, when have they ever dropped a Goten and Trunks and then a Gotenks, right? Or like a blue Goku and blue Vegeta and then a blue Goku, blue Vegeta and then a blue Gogeta? They drop characters where they actually fuse into something, right? But these are 2 separate cards. And no, Dokkan is not actually allowed to drop 2 summable characters that actually fuse into one other character. I think it's like against gacha law, requiring another, like one summable character requiring another summable character to actually activate certain abilities, which is why in Dokkan, every single time you see a certain character do something or require another character, that other character that actually acquire is somehow, some way free to play in the game. So for example, let's say Janemba dropped and you had like an active skill where you needed another Corroded Body and Mind character, right? There's many free to play Corroded Body and Mind characters, so they wouldn't make a condition that can only be fulfilled by another summable character. So just keep in mind that these 2 are different characters. They are not, one character they're going to fuse. And yeah, so just, keep that in mind. So I could see the argument for these 2, but I just don't think it really makes much sense. Dokkan has never dropped 2 characters and then dropped on the same banner a fusion of both of those characters. I don't know. It just seems like too much. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely possible, right? But then you can argue maybe even like this static aura Gogeta, right? I think he's a part of the same arc. Again, I don't watch Heroes, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless, are all these characters actually from the same arc? I don't even know. I think I saw Golden Cooler fighting Cumber though. Isn't that like a few years ago? I don't know, but I guess you could argue maybe an LR Gogeta, right? It's crazy because the Dragon Ball Heroes category doesn't even have a single LR yet. They definitely deserve an LR even if it's free to play. But if it's not going to be Gogeta or any one of these actual fusions, what I did was I looked up the actual arc itself. Apparently the arc itself is called let me see. The Universe Creation Saga. This is where apparently we get, Dark. I actually just looked up Dark Janemba, and apparently he's from this arc. So I wanted to go through this list of characters to see, like, what could potentially, like, maybe a Beerus LR? I don't know about a Beerus Heroes LR. I don't know how likely that sounds. Maybe, a Fu or Few, I guess a Fu or Few LR could work. Apparently Turles is in this arc. Wait, is this where Turles goes Super Saiyan 3? Is this I don't know. Again, I don't know, man. Dark Janemba's right here. So again, Dark Janemba won't be an LR, I guess. Maybe Super Saiyan Blue Berserk Vegeta. Again, he's in this arc apparently. Or apparently Vegito is too. So again, a blue Vegito would make more sense to me because again, it's not actually these 2 characters fusing. It's just more so a fusion of Goku and Vegeta, but not these actual 2 characters. What else here? There's no way they drop this as an LR. Maybe not yet at least. What the Dark King Few maybe? I guess could be an LR. But the thing is, like, would they really drop an Extreme Class LR for the first LR ever on the Dragon Ball Heroes banner? Like, if it was, I don't know, man. If I was the one behind the decisions, the first LR I would drop for a hero celebration would be a super class LR of some sort. I was begging for God Trunks to be an LR. The first, I would have loved if God Trunks was the very first LR of the Heroes collaboration, but you know, it just didn't work out that way. It is what it is. So here we have, actually, I take that back. If we got an LR Broly, I'll take that as well, but you guys know how I am, so it is what it is, I guess. Zeno Vegito, I guess, is a thing. Who the heck? Oh, Hearts comes back. I don't think they're gonna drop Hearts and then an LR Hearts, right? Let me know what you guys think though. Like, who the heck is this? Robelu? Could Robelu? I guess Robelu would technically awaken into this, right? Like the Robelu from last year. I guess she could awaken into that. Oh, not, hold on. Yeah, last year. I don't know why I looked at the other year before. Yeah, so basically right here, maybe. I don't know how this works. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you personally believe is going to happen. Do you think that there's a higher probability of them releasing an LR, or this is probably the entire, you know, list of things we're getting right here? I will also mention that, keep in mind, there will be a new free-to-play Lags character. She's kind of a baddie, not gonna lie. And then we have a red zone for, what's it called? You know, a new Dragon Ball Heroes red zone. We have EZAs for a lot of characters coming, which is going to be definitely really, really hype. And then we do have EZAs for a lot of free-to-play characters as well. So a lot of content coming for this hero celebration, way more than last year. So please keep that in mind. I feel like you can't look at what's going on and be disappointed. Especially if you haven't been playing Dokkan before. Usually we don't get a lot of things for a really quick 1 to 2 week collaboration celebration, right? We don't really, like, last year, I don't know if it was last year, I think it was, yeah, it was this year, when Super Saiyan 4 Vegito came out. We got like a super quick, like, it was something like a Dragon Ball History event, or Infinite Dragon Ball History event that came out with, you know, with these, you know, roster of characters, like, you know, 2 years ago. Last year, I don't really remember what we got in terms of content, to be honest with you, besides like EZAs, right? But I think that was pretty much it. I mean, again, we got a new free-to-play event, obviously. We got some Awakenings, and then we got some, just like a few EZAs. But this year, it's definitely ramped up. A lot of free-to-play EZAs, a lot more EZAs, again, a free-to-play unit, and then a red zone. So it's like, this is definitely the best celebration for Heroes so far. And maybe next year they ramp it up to an LR. Honestly, I would love it if we got maybe like a Prime Battle LR. Again, I know many people don't really like to grind up Prime Battle LRs, but I feel like it would be really sick if maybe they dropped some sort of free-to-play LR that maybe was like extra effective in like a red zone stage, right? So again, it's incentivizing you to actually grind up the new LR, and then allows you to maybe have, you know, a little extra attack, a little extra defense. Maybe the kit itself is designed specifically for the red zone. I don't really know what they could do, but I think that I think the Dragon Ball Heroes category desperately needs an LR. I feel like, because look at this, right? This list of characters here is definitely, where is it? Crossover? No, Dragon Ball Heroes. Here we go. So this is not a bad list of characters. Actually, I would argue that this roster of characters, especially after the release of these guys, they're going to be better than some other categories in this game, right? Especially with all the recent EZAs and whatnot. But, like, it's just, we need an LR. Dokkan has so many LRs already in this game that just dedicating just one to this category would not be a bad thing at all. And if it was free to play, I think that would benefit the entire community. Maybe drop a free to play LR first, and then maybe the year after that, drop the first Sunball LR. And speaking of actual LR, I don't think it would be a Dokkan Fest. Something like a Carnival LR banner just makes a lot more sense. Only because the Dragon Ball Heroes is a guaranteed. Let me go back here. Dragon Ball Heroes is actually a guaranteed featured banner. So every time you summon, you're guaranteed to pull one of the featured characters, half of which are usually, you know, new, and the other half are pretty much old, just like last year, or I guess the year before. Actually, no, it was 6 and 4. So you actually had a better chance of pulling a new unit every single time you summon. It's a guaranteed feature, which is why the value on this banner is really high. It's just that, you know, I guess I'll get into the summons and stuff in a different video talking about whether you should summon or not. But just keep in mind that, you know, if they're gonna drop an LR, I don't think they're going to release a Dokkan Fest LR on a guaranteed featured banner. Maybe more of like a Carnival LR that has to be run with, like, you know, heroes and whatnot. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you did, and let me know what your honest thoughts are. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and peace.